Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I want to talk to you guys about how to never lose your woman. But before I go into that, I want to mention to you guys that I have a free school community. It's a like-minded group of men. We share our wins, we share our ideas, our losses, our struggles, right? Things that we've accomplished, insights that we've gained that have helped us along our journey. And I also have 2 free courses in there. I have a course on accelerating your finances, and I also have a course on some unique ways on how to better your health, right? Some things that I don't really go too much into depth here on YouTube. So if you guys are interested in that, click the link down below. So anyways, moving on to our topic, right? How to never lose your women. Women require constant courtship, constant dating, and you need to be constantly on your toes with women, right? One thing that will ensure you that you will lose your woman, one thing for sure, is if you lose your edge, if you let go of who it took for you to become the guy that she meant in the first place, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, you know, we can generally say that women are attracted to 3 things, right? Money, looks, status / game, right? I guess I can kind of put those together, but really your income, which is kind of aligned with your status, your physique, like your strength, your like how good you look, right? The protector side of you, right? So we talked about the provider side, which is income, and then the protector side of you, which is your physical shape. And third, I would say game, right? And game in the sense of, like, are you still flirty, right, with your girlfriend? Or your wife? Do you still tease her, right? Do you guys have good chemistry in the bedroom, right? Like, you got to think about it. Just because, you know, most guys, right, like, they get a lot of girls by just by luck, right? Or maybe they just got the girl by the skin of their teeth, meaning like they just got her maybe when she was single, or you know, she was just looking for something like to hold her over till she found like the best option she could get. But the thing is like, if you're not the guy that is the best he can be, like in her area, like meaning like, okay, like for example, I live here in Florida, right, in Naples. So Naples is a lot different than Miami, right? So if I were to go to Miami, right, and my girlfriend was, you know, we were living in Miami, right, it would be, I'd have to really be on my toes, right? Because, you know, the type of money I make, you know, $60,000 a year is nothing compared to the type of guys that live in Miami, right? So you can easily lose your girl, right, in an environment like that if you're not on your toes, right? So, you know, if, let's say your girl, you know, comes across a guy who's, you know, flirtatious, right? He's got game. Well, she might like that, but if she knows that her boyfriend is, or her husband is, you know, a 6-figure earner, right? He's in shape. Maybe he's somewhat flirtatious or somewhat has game, right? She might like that guy, but she's gonna not cheat, because it's like, yeah, okay, if I go with this guy, it's like, what are the odds that he has a 6-pack? What are the odds that he's in shape? What are the odds that he has money, right? It's like, it's very slim that there's a very slim percentage of like dudes in the world, or even in your local, like wherever you live locally in your town or city, well, cities are different, but your town or, you know, sub-city, that have all of the traits that women desire. So at the end of the day, as a dude, you can ensure that, you know, your girl won't leave you if you're constantly on your edge, right? And another thing too is, you have to really be on top of all 3 of those things that I've talked about, right? Even when you're dating your girl, because remember, you know, women do get bored, right? They do get bored in relationships, especially if you guys are living together, right? So as a dude, you know, like me, I don't live with my girl, you know, I plan to, you know, maybe live with her soon. But at the end of the day, like, I know, like, even when I do live with her, like, I'm not going to be home most of the day, right? I'm going to be out, I'm going to be working, probably Ubering, right? So there's that fear that, like, damn, my guy's out there, like, you know, he's working, or, you know, what if another girl like tries to talk to him because she knows I'm attractive, right? So it's like, you know, you have to be basically, you have to be more scarce than she is to you. Meaning like you have to be the more scarce commodity in the marketplace than than she is to you. Because if she's more scarce to you than you are to her, right? The dynamic isn't gonna work, right? So, you know, that's why I always tell guys, it's like, bro, don't date 9s and 10s because it's a losing battle, right? It's a losing fucking battle, right? Unless you're like a serious, like top dog dude, it's going to be really hard to maintain like a 9 or 10 because like I said, she's got so many options, right? And a lot of the times, right, she has such an abundance mindset that she just looks at boyfriends as temporary, right? Till she finds something better, right? A lot of girls, you know, they just, girls don't want to be alone, right? Really, no one wants to be alone, but girls especially have the female brain has a very tough time with no stimulation, right? Guys are a little better at it, although humans in general have a tough time with being alone. The female design has a very difficult time being alone. It's very scary, right? So she's always going to be, you know, these 9s and 10s, they always have boyfriends or, you know, guys are dealing with on the side because like I said, they don't want to be alone. That's every girl. Anyways, going back to my point, you can ensure that, you know, the likelihood of her leaving is slim to none if you're improving. Like, think of a basic guy, right? Let's take, for example, right? Let's say a guy that has 10% body fat, right? It makes $80,000 to $100,000 a year. He's got, you know, a paid off house, right? He's got some investments, right? He might not be an entrepreneur, yet he might not be an influencer, right? He might not be this big YouTube star or Instagram star, right, with millions of followers. But at the end of the day, right, that guy who has those qualities and that type of lifestyle, right, like a paid off house, like that's priceless, right? A six-pack, a good body, that's hard to find, right? Like a lot of dudes just aren't in shape. A dude who makes like between 80 and 100K a year, that's not easy to find either, right? So, and especially if you have like all three of those and you're flirtatious and you're funny, you're not going anywhere, right? So, and I think there's a little bit of like an overemphasis on like how good you need to be as a guy, like, you know, because some of these guys will say, you know, you need to be in the top 1% of guys, and I don't think you shouldn't. You should definitely strive for that, right? But that's not to say that if you're in the top 20 or 10% that you can't still maintain a great relationship, right? But you should always be improving, right? That's not to say that you should settle for just, you know, like if you start dating your girl, right, and you make 80K a year, that's not to say that you shouldn't try to make 150K or 200K or a million, right? Like that's, you know, you always want to be improving so that she has increased respect and admiration for you as time goes on. Like that's the whole goal of like being in a relationship, right, with a girl, right? Obviously, you know, love and everything and human connection, but as far as like keeping it together, right, and keeping it flourishing, it's your job as the guy to always be leveling up, right? Now you don't have to be leveling up like every 6 months, like every 6 months I'm getting a raise, right? But it should be, she should see you, right? Like you're working long hours, you're working, even if you're not like doing like big stuff, like running an online business, at least you're working towards something. Maybe you're trying to level up in your job, right? You don't have to be this fantastic, super outstanding guy, right? You just have to be you just have to have a progression mindset, right? If you have a progression mindset and you have the work ethic, right? And you have, you know, some game, you have some flirtatious attributes to you and you're funny, right? Like, you're not going nowhere, right? And if you're in shape on top of that, it's like, bro, it's hard to lose that way. Like, let's just put it that way. Like, it's hard to get cheated on when you have all those things together, right? Not saying it can't happen, but you definitely minimize the likelihood of you losing your girl to some other guy, right? So definitely stay on your toes, right? This is just kind of like a reminder. If you're in a relationship or you intend to be in a relationship, always have that mindset that I'm always going to be trying to level up, right? No matter what, no matter how good you are right now, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, just talking about life in general, you're either progressing or regressing. You're either growing or dying, right? So there's no such thing as staying the same anyway. So whether you're in a relationship or not, you're either growing or dying, right? And so you always need to be focused on leveling up, regardless of if you're in a relationship or you're not. So I just want to kind of bring that to the forefront here, and hopefully that helps some of you guys that are, in relationships or you want to be in relationships. Yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.